Greetings, Patrick here. Have Cheetah will view. So me and the Cheetah were kicking it today, and I'm wondering, what to watch. I think about, like what could we watch today? It's overcast. It's sort of stormy. Wants to storm. I couldn't figure out really what I wanted to watch until I went downstairs, and I saw the Cheetah tearing up his scratch box. And I was looking at him, and he's just, the cardboard's flying. I'm going like, that's just fate. He's telling me that he wants to watch a slasher film. So I said, all right, well, that's a good thing he said that because we got one. That's right. Our good friend Peter Castro over at BayView Entertainment sent us Last of the Grads. This is the slasher film. So this film was made in 2021 or released in 2021. It was written and directed by Jenkins and Collin Kliewe. It has a very cool young cast. Jessica Lange plays Emma Bradley. Sarah Eklund plays Donna McCormick. Kyle Prue plays Ben. Michael Sherbini plays Mutt. And our version of Samuel L. Jackson, Charles White Jr. plays Officer Greg. And so this is a old school slasher film, and it starts off it starts off pretty hot, as we meet Henry and that's his name, Henry and Mutt, and they're a couple of young teenagers, and they're having a hard life. They're both with single parents. Who really don't care about them, and plus they're being bullied at school. They're outcasts. They discover each other and become friends, and then decide, hey, why don't we just, sort of like strangers on a train, sort of like, why do we get rid of our, our nemesis? Well, they don't go so far as to switch, but they definitely come together to eliminate their parents. And so that's what they do, and then they take off. They go on the run, and during the next several years, they develop, through their actions, they become the coast to coast killer. But it should be killers, shouldn't it? But they call it the coast to coast killer, and we see various victims as opening credits happen. So we see that they're making their way across the Midwest, heading down to Florida. And the cops say that this is not a serial killer, and the media even goes so far as saying that the coast-to-coast killer is actually just a massive hoax, created by other people. Well, anyway, the coast-to-coast killer he kidnaps or they kidnap one last victim, and then they land in Shelby, Florida. Shelby, Florida is a really small, tight-knit community, and where, a lot of people know each other. And anyway, it's senior night at the high school, and so they have a tradition where they all come together and they get to go inside the gymnasium, and they have basically a giant sleepover. They have entertainment and food and all that good stuff, signing the yearbooks. And they're having a good time, but we meet Emma, and Emma doesn't really have a date for the sleep in, so she's really, she's sort of leery about that. But then she meets a young man who decides to ask her to go out, and so he says, "Okay, I'll do that." So anyway, Emma and her best friend Donna, they're really happy. They're going to go to the party, and they're close friends, and we see Emma is really close with her dad, also a single dad, also a single parent. And whereas we saw the first kids, Henry and Mutt, having really abusive parents, we see that Emma has a really loving relationship with her father. And he has respect for her friends, and they have respect for him as well. And so anyway, they go to school, the last day of school, and we meet various teens throughout the first 20-25 minutes. They all have plans, hopes, and dreams, and and pretty soon starts getting to be, starting to get late afternoon, and one teacher busts a kid out there smoking pot. So he decides that, he's gonna let me have the pot and you can get out of here and nobody's gonna say anything to you. Well, that's because the teacher knows it's the last day of school, and so he's gonna get high himself. Of course, he comments on how shitty the weed is, but then, while he's getting high off, the killer pops up for the first of many times, and he kills the school teacher. So it gets darker and darker, and pretty soon it's nighttime, and everybody getting ready to go to the big event. We see Emma being dropped off by her father. We also though we see Officer Greg over at the police department. He is actually trying to warn the sheriff. He's saying, I'm not really so sure this is a good idea. We just had that kidnapping, not too long ago, and the coast to coast killer, that was his last known place to be, and maybe we shouldn't, we don't have a large police force. We can't, we don't have enough resources to, protect everywhere, everyone, all at once. And so, but the chief says, no, don't worry about it. There's going to be 40 kids plus chaperones. It's good. It's going to be good. And who even knows if the coast to coast killer is actually real? And of course, Greg's, he shows them his map, and he says, hey, says, look at all the stuff I've discovered. And the sheriff says, listen, if you keep going down that road, you could get yourself really in trouble by becoming obsessive. And that's not a good trait for a cop. Well, Greg ends up just protecting. He goes there, he gets a patrol car, and he ends up protecting the school. And then we see the rabbit, the big man on campus. We see him and his two cronies. They decide they're gonna, break into the school when they're already invited. But they want to go. They want to be different. What they want to do is they want to go inside in the back and pull the fire alarm and basically ruin the night for everybody. Which is really strange because he's, like I said, he's well, I guess, he's supposed to be a Mr. Popularity, but we do see that he's an asshole. So anyway, him and his two buddies, they decide they're gonna sneak in the back and pull the fire alarm, but two of his friends have to go to the restroom, and so well, that's the last bathroom break they'll ever get. And then the killer comes and he finds the bully and dispatches him as well. And it starts accelerating. We see Officer Greg, who's a very popular character, and unfortunately for him, we think that he's going to be like the hero. Unfortunately, no, he ends up being the victim. About halfway through the movie, he's like, okay, I didn't see that coming. Sort of reminds you that Samuel L. Jackson moment in Deep Blue Sea. It's like we're gonna stand together. We're gonna kill this killer. We're gonna catch this killer. And next thing you know, he's getting killed, and gruesomely at that too. No hero death for him. So he gets inside the school, and it's just pure carnage. There's about 45 people in the school, students and staff, and it's horrific. And it probably sets a record for a slasher movie too, as there's 20 kills. There's like 22 kills in this movie, and they're pretty gruesome. No mistake about that. And so Emma and her friends are trying to survive. They don't have access to their cell phones. They can't call out. Any of that. Good friends die, and it's just a sad thing. And but then we see that there is only one coast to coast killer, and we find out what happened to the other one, and it was a surprise, quite a surprise actually. Of course, Emma's the final girl, and she manages to take out the the killer in the most appropriate way for him to go. It was appropriate. It was like, yeah, I can see this happening. And of course, it's just it's she survives. A lot of people weren't. The sheriff has tremendous guilt feelings. He lost his friend and his cop. Who tried to warn him this could have happened, and he feels responsible as he should. Yeah, this is a very good movie as far as a slasher movie, independent slasher goes. I gotta tell you, I thought the acting was fine. Like I said, there are some that were, they're amateurish, their first time out there or what have you. But there are some that have done other projects as well, and you could definitely tell that. And the effects were very effective, for the most part. There are a couple that were cringy, but you have to just, realize that, okay, yeah, I know that's totally bullshit, but, it's, they didn't have that much money, and they got what they got. So they did a good job with what they had, and it comes out on the screen. And now the movie itself is an hour and 53 minutes. Now that's almost like an automatic death to a horror film. Oh my God, that is almost 2 hours. Oh, I can't handle that. I can only handle 80 to 90 minutes. Well, that would be a shame, because this movie, the pacing is fast. It's a quick movie. It's you're thinking, wow, maybe this should be over by now. You won't be, because you'll be paying attention to what's going on the screen. This movie flies by. So I really enjoyed this. I thought the effects were well. Like I said, what they had the money for is, they used every penny of it. My big question is, why didn't they do another movie? Love to ask them that in person. Love to ask them out in person, because I'd like to see what else they could do. I really do. I think I'd really like to see what else they could do. This is new to me. I got this, like I said, I got this from BayView Entertainment. Never heard anybody talk about it except for one person. When I mentioned I got this, our Echo Zero, he actually knew about this film. He knew that there had been some YouTubers that had done the film, including the actor Charles White Jr., who played Officer Greg. He was a big YouTuber at the time of this movie. They were invited to come on to this movie too. This wasn't one of those movies where they paid for their part. Unlike too many projects now, they were asked to come on and come on in here, and we're going to make a movie, and we'd like to have you come on in and be a part of it. And they were really good. No complaints here. I was thoroughly entertained by Last of the Grads. And you can get this at BayView Entertainment. I'll be putting the link down below in the description box. I want to thank again Peter Castro and his friends over at BayView Entertainment. BayView Entertainment for sending us this to watch and review. And thank you for watching this review. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if you've heard of this movie. Not you, Echo. I already know you have. Come by and tell me what you think of it, if you know about it, if you got a copy of this. All right, that will be it for this review. Thank you so much for watching, and we will talk to you for the next one. Oh, don't forget, Dollar Theater is on Mondays at 2 p.m. Dollar Theater reviews, Monday at 2 p.m. And Dollar Theater Voters Edition happens every Friday. I know I didn't put it up yesterday, but it will be up momentarily. All right, that's it for me. Thanks so much. If you're new to the channel, hit the sub button, hit the like button, drop a comment. Peace.